Good day everyone! Today, let us know more about KARO. KARO is a local term for a farmer cart used by farmers, usually pulled by carabao in transporting goods like rice, woods, and any material. Let's find out more about physics behind KARO.
Wheels reduce friction and the KARO exhibit frictional force. There are friction between wheels and the ground and simply slide along. The friction between each wheels and the ground helps dig it, so the wheel can rotate. If the ground were always smooth like ice, we would not really need wheels and axle at all. It will just slip and slide everywhere. How helpful the wheels in the KARO. There's much less friction when using wheels, and this way KARO makes the load easier to move. The friction of the carabao's feet is greater than the friction of the KARO's wheel. The friction in the KARO's wheel is roller resistant and is primarily dependent on the size of the KARO's load and not on the speed. And lastly, if the action force is greater than the friction between the wheels and the road, then only the carabao can pull the KARO forward.
Now, why does the KARO accelerates? Newton's second law says that an object accelerates if there is unbalanced force on it. Looking at the KARO, there is just one force exerted on the KARO. The carabao exerts on it. As you can see, the KARO accelerates because the carabao pulls on it, and the amount of acceleration equals the net force divided by its mass. And next is, why does the carabao accelerates if there is a KARO attached to it? There are two forces that push or pull on the KARO. First, the KARO pulls the carabao backwards, and second, the ground pushes the carabao forward. Let us analyze it further. If the ground pushes harder on the carabao than the KARO pulls, there is a net force in the forward direction and the carabao accelerates forward. Then, if the force that the KARO exerts on the carabao is the same size as the force that the ground exerts, the net force on the carabao is 0. The carabao will not accelerate. By that, as the carabao exerts greater force, both KARO and carabao move from 0 velocity to some velocity.
Let's proceed to the other law that KARO exhibits, the law of interaction. As we can see, the carabao is harnessed to a KARO. If the carabao tries to pull the carabao exerts a force on the KARO. By this law, the KARO must exert an equal and opposite force on the carabao. And as the carabao pulls the KARO and KARO pulls the carabao, they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Does the carabao push the ground or ground pushes the carabao? Both of them. How? The carabao pushes the ground and the ground pushes the carabao. They are also having equal in magnitude and opposite in direction.
Another concept from KARO is the tension force acting between the carabao and the KARO. On pulling each other with equal tension force, rightward on the KARO and leftward on the carabao. This force is applied by the roots, and ultimately this force would exist if the electrical force of attraction which hold the atoms and molecules together.
Does the KARO and carabao do work? A force acting on the KARO that is moving in a straight line motion. The KARO illustrates work in which force is applied in direction along displacement. Thank you for listening with us.
Hope you learned some important concepts about KARO.
Please share our video.
Bye!